Our project. So, our project is a financial stock predictor. So, my partners were Aniket and Anish Kumar. I think you already had a meeting with Anish Kumar.
Yeah,
Sadly,
yeah, yeah,
his end, it like things were not downloading and working properly.
yeah,
But
yeah.
hence the name Ani and then Eeshan. So that was just something creative that we did. But basically, we have a full stack React. We use React.js as our front end, and then we have like our model and about us, and then we have our model. In this project, we use an LSTM model, which was a long-term, short-term memory, or long short-term memory. Which what we did was we trained a model to predict a stock based on 50 epochs. So first, so if you type in Apple, I'll do that in the process. It takes some time. So I'll while it's loading, I'll talk to you more about our project because
Yeah.
there's some things we did good and some things we could have worked on better. So it gave us a lot of room for improvement, which we're going to sit on after this meeting actually, and then try to get this up and running the next couple of weeks. But what our ideation when we were creating this project, we decided that we wanted something real and something that can be used in multiple ways. So we found out that a stock predictor is very, very essential, and it's a great way to learn about how to work and how to move and go upon a lot of different models and how to actually use GitLab, GitHub, and VS Code. I found out that throughout BetterMind Labs, I became much more familiar with VS Code and GitHub, especially before. Like, there was a lot of instances where we had so many errors trying to upload and then trying to edit the file and trying to share it with other people and different collaborators. So felt that throughout this session, we got a clear understanding on how to use GitHub and how to use VS Code. Do you have any
So,
questions
what
while it's
what
still?
made you choose this topic? Were you always interested in finance or
Yeah.
stocks?
So I want to. My major in the future is probably something to do with finance, and I was interested in the financial aspect of modeling because I want to be a quant or a quantitative analyst one day,
Mhm.
and that's a primary um, analyzer uses models to analyze. So, and also in the second or third day, when we were talking about convolutional neural networks, I found out that like through training the model and using different epochs, this is actually the first idea that came into my mind. Wait, maybe we can analyze different days of stocks. So basically, how this works is it has one whole year of data, right? And this is the error that we actually encountered. It trains it looks at the stock the next day, predicts what that stock's going to be, edits its adjustments, and continues that throughout the whole year. So the thing that we could have done much better is the predicting time. As you see right now, our model is training it's running through the epochs right now. If you open our Visual Studio's code, it's saying it's training model for 50 epochs over here. So that's the one error that we thought that it took way too long doing that. So hopefully it loads sometime soon. There, perfect. So this is um this is the predicted close, and um this is today's price. This is what it's predicted to close tomorrow's price, right?
Okay.
So in here we can go to the market news too. Though I guess we have an error with our Gemini right now. I just edited a couple of files,
No
but
issues. Take
um
your time.
this should work. But going back to here, we have the predicted close, the actual close, which is what it's expected to close today, or the yesterday's actual close, today's price, and the margin of error. Okay, due to our 50 epochs that we ran just now in the processing time, it took around 2 minutes, and it was a little inaccurate. what we're planning on doing next is to train each model beforehand and train it for like maybe 150 to 175 epochs and only do it for a set amount of stock so that the processing time will be much smaller. If you look at this graph over here, you can see the different dates and then the actual prices versus the predicted prices our model has made. And then once you click into it, it zooms in to the week, if you can see that. This should work, but going back to here, we have the predicted close, the actual close, which is what it's expected to close today, or the yesterday's actual close, today's price, and the margin of error. Okay, due to our 50 epochs that we ran just now in the processing time, it took around 2 minutes and it was a little inaccurate. What we're planning on doing next is to train each model beforehand and train it for like maybe 150 to 175 epochs and only do it for a set amount of stock so that the processing time will be much smaller. If you look at this graph over here, you can see the different dates and then the actual prices versus the predicted prices our model has made. And then once you click into it, it zooms in to the week, if you can see that. Is everything okay? Okay.
Really sorry for the inconvenience, Eeshan. Actually, there was a network issue, so that's why I got disconnected. We can continue. You were saying about the pricing of the stock.
Me? Can you hear me properly now?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. Okay, wait, you can hear me now, right?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so over here, we can see the margin of error. The reason why this margin of error is higher than anticipated is because during the loading time you just saw, it actually trained our model. So our next step is to pre-train the models over a longer period of time so that we can have an already trained model that can predict the stock more accurately and with faster processing times. If you take a look at this historical versus predicted price graph here, this is over the last year. If you can see the dates on the bottom, we're on May, March 2025 right now. It goes all the way back to 2024. And then, yeah. So if you go back here, if you click on the week, it tells you the in-week summary of how our model predicted. You can see in the beginning, it's very off, right? And it's adjusting our predicted price is adjusting based on the actual price. And fast forward to today's price, right? You can see that this week it's getting closer and closer to the predicted price. Like the green line and then the actual price is more in sync. And with more training, this stock will continue to get the green line will continue to get or mold to how the actual price is. So we've been getting a little more accurate. So we also have a market news tab, which right now is providing an error, but before it would tell you we connected our Gemini API key, and it would tell you a brief summary of how the news sentiment of the stock's looking with 10 clickable hyperlinks that will link you to news stations that have that have like contents about the stock. So it'd go to Apple stock and the trending news data, and then based on the market news, this line encompassing this container will turn green or red compared to if the news sentiment is positive versus negative. So if Apple is expected to decline in the future, um, the, this it'll be engulfed in a red line, and if it's predicted to grow, it'll be engulfed in a green line. So that's a little bit about the app that we made.
That's great. That market news section and your project telling about the future